guys, this is Kat from my Write, I Read, I Review, and today I'm here to actually do a video review, my first video review, and this review is going to be for On Every Street by Karina Halle, which is the prequel to Sins and Needles. It's a part of the Artist trilogy. Anyway, I hope you guys will bear with me. I've never actually done a video review before, but with my hands having some slight trouble and the fact that I'm trying to work on my book, I have to kind of choose when I want to type. So since I can do videos for you guys and I can't do videos to write my book, I'm going to be doing it this way. So I'd love to know whether there's anything I can do to make these better. But that's enough about me and about what's going on here. Let's actually get to the review. Okay. I decided to pick this up because I had seen some absolutely fantastic reviews for On Every Street and for the Artist trilogy's first book, Sins and Needles. I know, for instance, that Giselle over at Expresso Reads really likes these. And when I saw her review for On Every Street, I actually stopped to read it because I check her blog a lot. And I got really interested in what she was talking about. Essentially, the main character of this story, Ellie Watt, or as she goes by in this actual, installment, Eden White, is essentially planning to do a long con on a drug cartel person, like a very high up guy in this organization. His name is Javier, and he works for a guy named Travis, who is responsible for some really hideous stuff that happened during Ellie's childhood, and she wants revenge. So the story basically consists of her deciding that in order to get close enough to Travis that she can get her revenge, that she needs to make Javier fall in love with her, and instead things do a complete 180 and she's the one who ends up falling. I really liked the book. The story pulled me in very quickly. I got very interested in these characters, and I mean both of these characters. I mean, we've got two very screwed up individuals here in this book, and yet I felt very connected to both of them. I cared very deeply about both of them. I was very invested in their relationship, even though, much like, say, a Shakespearean tragedy, I knew it was gonna go to shit. But I was very connected and very invested. So the plot was really good in that regard. My only really big beef with the plot was that partway through the book, the whole, wanting revenge on Travis thing gets sidetracked and gets pushed off because she's getting happier and happier being with Javier, which is understandable, but the problem is it never really gets back on track, and then the way that the book ends, so that it will interconnect with the actual first book in the series, it did something that made me want to take this Kindle and go whoosh with it and just send it flying. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to ruin it for you, but I was screaming. At the same time, though, I must say I was screaming. I sent out a tweet and then I started Sins and Needles. But yeah, Javier does something at the end that just made me want to break him. I was so mad. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. That just shows how powerful the writing was. It shows how connected I was to this guy, even though I knew he was screwed up. And it was a great setup to actually get me to turn around and jump right into the next book, which is something I haven't been doing as a reader until very recently, as far as blogging goes, but I'm so glad I did. Okay, anyway, the characters. I absolutely loved Ellie/Eden. I thought she was fabulous. She's definitely not your sugar and sweetness kind of character. She's got a lot on her plate. She's got a lot in her past. But I felt very connected to her. I felt very able to get inside her skin. I felt that the way that Karina Halle was able to portray her voice, she was very distinct sounding. She was very memorable. The way she thought and the way she talked and the way that she would relate to things and have me relate to things through her was very interesting. And a lot of the times in first person, I find that when people are thinking things through and figuring things out, I get really annoyed with them and I want to skip and I want to get past it. Because it's like, yeah, get to the thing actually happening. But with Ellie and with her point of view and everything, I wanted to understand her, and that really added to my reading experience. As for Javier, now he was a really, 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 really bad guy. I mean, like, we are talking like bad, ladies and gentlemen, really bad. Now, I like a bad boy, and I like a villain love interest, which is essentially what we've got here. But as I said, the end, he made me want to break his face. And yet, what he did at the end, the thing that made me want to kill him, is actually not technically the worst thing he did during the book. He did technically, legalistically worse things during the book, which I and Ellie forgave him for, essentially. But what he did at the end, I had the exact same reaction she did. I was like, I'm out of here. No way. No more. And, like, yeah, I mean, it's incredible that Karina was able to build this character up and to make me feel this way about him, and then to instantly, on a dime, make me just want to scream at him. As for the rest of the cast, I mean, like, we didn't have a ton of really close-knit characters outside of these two. This was a novella, but I felt that the other characters that were there did a good job at actually, like, enhancing the book and everything. They did what they were supposed to do, and they didn't steal the show or do anything to cause problems that, like, the problems they weren't supposed to cause. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, very well done in that regard. The romance, oh my god. The romance between these two, I wanted these two together so bad, and as I said, I knew this was gonna go south. It had to, for the plot in the first book to make sense. But, like, I was so invested and so convinced and so connected and just so practically obsessed with these two characters and what was going on with them. I felt like I was falling in love with Javier right along with Ellie, which was what made what happened at the end so absolutely heart-shattering. So the romance was really good, and for those reading and wondering whether this is for them, this is incredibly sexy. This is incredibly, like, here there be sex is the best way I can put this to you. Like, if you're young or if you're uncomfortable with sex or anything like that, this is not for you. You would not like this. This is going to make you really squirm. So yeah, just so you know the, like, content here, that's what I can tell you about that. So, summing it all up in general, this is absolutely, utterly freaking fantastic. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 hearts, because while I thought that the characterization, descriptions, and narrative voice were absolutely freaking stellar, and while the romance was swoon-worthy and the sexuality was blazing hot, the plotting, because of the way the end worked, and because it's not that that the end made me mad, it's that the end and the goal at the beginning, I never felt the shift properly. It was there, but it was a bit off. So 4 out of 5, since I feel this author and this series has room to go and room to grow. As for whether you should pick this up, this is one of those things where it's run, don't walk. Go to Kindle, go now, grab this, you want this, you need this, you are going to love this. This is absolutely fantastic, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. Anyway, thanks so much for watching my review of On Every Street by Karina Halle. I would love to hear what you thought of the book if you've read it, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll see what I can do to answer them. Anyway, have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!